It's PSA return time, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going, collectors? I hope you're doing well. I sent a box of 20 cards off because that was the minimum. I got a membership now at. I don't want to show that as I lift it up. And if you catch it as I'm looking it up here, you'll see there are some Japanese cards. So that's kind of neat. I don't send Japanese cards very often, but we've got a stack here of 20. I'm in the PSA club, collectors, I don't know what it's called. So I get like discounted grading, and it's quite reasonably priced now, and lead times are pretty quick. I got this back in about a month, a little less than a month. So it was pretty good. So we're going to go through a grading return here. This has some modern, some Japanese, and some vintage from my aunt's collection that we looked at like 2 years ago before things went crazy. So we're going to start off with yes, we have got, I'm going to fix that light because I don't like that. It is bright right in my face here. We have got a Pikachu. So this is the Scarlet and Violet. You got this when you bought, was it the video game? I think my brother bought it from Japan, so he got this, and I thought, you know what? That's a cool looking promo. Let's get it. And let's get in a 10. There we go. That's a good way to start. I don't know. I've never actually graded Japanese cards. That's the first time. And I'm going to try and fix this light right now. Okay, hopefully that is better, and you notice a difference there. All right. Yes. I forgot about this card. So this is the full art Clara, and if you guys don't know this, they call them waifu cards, and they are the female versions of the trainers, and they're very collectible in Japan. Interesting, no judgment, people got their own things, whatever. So my brother actually sent me a case or a box of Peerless Fighter, and sure enough I pulled Clara. It didn't really mean anything to me at the time. I didn't know what it was, but anyways, I knew that when I graded it, if it graded as a 10, which it did, it is worth a decent amount, and you'll see on screen it's worth a decent amount, and I'm trying to figure out what to do with it now because I don't collect Japanese cards, and I don't really care about trainers myself, so that could be a good card that I might end up selling. I don't know yet. So as mentioned, some of these cards are mine, some are my aunt's. I believe all of hers are at the end. They're the vintage cards here. So we got the special delivery Charizard. Everybody knows all about that. This is when the UK decided to add a website, and it got an 8. Ooh. That okay. Let's move on to the next one and hope we do better. We did, hopefully. We've got a Charizard special delivery Charizard. I'm pretty sure I have a special delivery Pikachu as an 8, and then I have a special delivery Bidoof. That might be in this. It might be in here. So I think I have all the special deliveries. And this one came back as a 9. There we go. So that one's probably a little bit better. That one's a little bit better. But let's see what we've got next. Okay, there it is. Speak of the devil, we have got special delivery Bidoof. This one, I oddly enough did not get this one myself. I never received the email. I never got that email, which is a real big bummer. A friend of mine, DNA Pokemon, I've had him on the channel a few times. He's done mystery boxes, things like that. Anyways, he's got his own channel as well. He does a lot of development, app development, things like that now, which is kind of neat. But anyways, he sold me this card because this is the one that I did not have in my collection. So I came back as a 9. So that's pretty cool. So that's worth a decent penny. Oddly enough, out of the 3 of them, you wouldn't think the Bidoof one is the one that is the most valuable, but it is, which is kind of crazy. Next, we have got, there we go, Charizard V, Shiny Charizard. This one, oddly enough, I bought this card because I never pulled it. This is the only Charizard from Champion's Path that I could not pull. Tried my darndest, could not happen, and the packs are too expensive now. So I ended up buying this one separately for, I don't know, $200 or whatever it was. And I did not think that it would come back as a 10, and it did. So that is really, really awesome. I'm excited about that because I didn't think I was going to get that as a 10. And then I also sent in the Charizard V from Brilliant Stars. This is the wickedest, that's a word, I swear, artwork. Look at this Charizard. That is just pretty awesome, battling the Venusaur. Now, what is interesting about this card, if you notice, the centering is just not great. Man, you can really see my reflection in that card. I'm sorry. It's just not great. The centering, it is so top heavy. Look how thin it is in the bottom. Look how thick it is at the top. That's not great. We look at the back. It's not too bad. The back, it's, again, probably shifted down a little bit, but not as prevalent. But it came back as a 10, which is awesome. Hey, this is me not complaining. But when I remember pulling this card and seeing the centering, and I'm like, oh, that won't come back as a 10. But it did. So there's that, which is interesting. And then, yes, the Mewtwo. And actually, I'm going to do a separate video on this card because I actually have this card graded with another grading company. And you're going to want to subscribe because you're going to see that video real soon. Because I wanted to see how this would grade versus how it was graded with that other grading company. So this one came back as a PSA 9. Wicked, super excited. I'm okay with that. Of course, would I love the 10. But look at the centering. It is really thin at the top, a little bit thicker at the bottom. Not too terribly bad. And I don't know if this is going to pick it up on the camera here, but you will see. Let's see how good the camera is here. There it is. Do you see all those little white dots there? And the little white dots with the circle over by the bottom of the P there. It's actually because they laid these cards down before they were dry during the printing process. And you won't be able to see it, but on the actual energy symbols there's raised dots. And I figured out that these were just because they were stacked on there and it left residue or it peeled off the paint, whatever way you want to say it. Anyways, I am happy that came back a 9. You're going to want to look for that video to see how the grading difference was there. And now we get into my aunt's cards. She pulled the Charizard G. She didn't get into Pokemon cards until, well after Hidden Fates, well into Sword and Shield. But she was able to pull a Charizard from Hidden Fates, which is wicked awesome. And it landed a 10. That is a super valuable card. I'm going to put her stack separately here. She then also had herself a Charizard V from Champion's Path. Another, again, wicked card. And we hit a 10 on this one as well. So that's really cool. So a couple shiny Charizards 10s. Hey, can we go for the trifecta? Can we get 3 shiny Charizards in a row? Yes, we can. That sounded so terribly scripted. I'm sorry. It wasn't meant to be scripted. It wasn't. That's 3 shiny Charizards in a row. That's friggin' awesome, man. That is really cool. Now, I know some of those shiny Charizards aren't as valuable as the Hidden Fates one, or shouldn't be. The Hidden Fates one is pretty awesome. Now, this is what I found really interesting. So, this card is the exact same card as that I looked at. The centering on the front is pretty darn good. The centering on the back is a little off. It's maybe shifted a little bit to the left, but not too terribly bad. Corners look fine. Nothing looks out of place. This one came back as an 8. Like, unless there is a glaring scratch or something that I'm missing, and I maybe need to take a closer look at it, this one came back a lot less than I would have thought it would have come back. So, little bummed there for my aunt, but again, that's how it goes. She just got 3 shiny Charizards in a row. Like, you can't be too upset about that. Now we're getting into some vintage, some WOTC era vintage here. We have got a Fortress Holo. This is from Neo Discovery. And we landed a 9. So that's not too shabby. When we're talking vintage cards, getting 9s, getting 10s is really stinking hard with vintage. So that's just how it goes. We got a first edition Neo Genesis Typhlosion. This is a beautiful card. When I looked over this one, it looked pretty darn perfect. I was really hoping a 10, but it came back as a 9. Again, can't be too terribly upset with that. It's still worth probably a little bit. And on screen, I'm sure I've been showing all the values and the prices. We've now got a first edition Ampharos from Neo Genesis. Now, the reason why I sent some of these cards in is because they looked really clean, but also the pop is really low on 10s. So I was really hoping we could land at least 1 10 out of all of these, and this one did not. So it got a 9, still worth a decent amount there. Can't be too upset. Again, first edition Onyx. This one from Neo Genesis. It's a good looking card, centered well. Everything looked clean on it. I looked over these things meticulously. They look pretty darn good, but again, it's been sitting in a binder for the last, how long? 20 years. This thing came out in 2000. 23 years it's almost been sitting in a binder. So, and PSA 9. Again, not too bad. Like, these are, I find often when you get a PSA 9, it's a toss-up. Especially with WOTC era cards. I don't want to say it's pop control, but kind of pop control, I think, to a point. But again, it's 20 some odd years old, so that's just how it goes. First edition Skarmory Neo Genesis. we've got ourselves a PSA 8. So we went down a little bit. I must have missed something on that one, unfortunately. We have got a Neo Genesis non-first edition Heracross. Now, the interesting thing about Neo Genesis in the non-first edition, just the unlimited, the pop is a lot lower on the PSA 10s. So if you hit a PSA 10, boy, did you hit a jackpot. If you don't hit a PSA 10, it's not quite worth as much. And again, we hit the PSA 9. This has a ton of hollow foil on it. Centering, again, looks pretty darn good. Corners look pretty darn good. So it's just one of those things that if I cracked it and resubmitted it, maybe there's a chance I could get some of these in a 10. I don't know. But that's just how it goes sometimes. Then we're getting some Team Rocket. So first edition Team Rocket, Dark Raichu with that beautiful square swirl there. Looks like he's you know, tooting it out there. That's a tooty swirl. Tooty swirl, and came back as an 8. Oh, that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I don't think that's going to be worth too terribly much, but it's still cool seeing the Team Rocket. And then we are finishing with the Lapras first edition from Fossil. Another beautiful card. This one gives me some strong vibes from my childhood. I collected in the base set Fossil and Jungle Days, so I kind of left after right around Team Rocket, and I wish I didn't. Finishing with an 8. That's it. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. If you would, consider hitting subscribe down below. It really helps me out. Leave a comment. Consider sharing these videos. All these things you can do. I really, really appreciate it. We got lots of content on the channel. So thanks again for watching. Have yourself an amazing day.